So, all right, we're here to find out a couple things about how you find out information on the internet. So first, if you could just tell me how you would find how busy the Cheesecake Factory is right now. If you were to attempt to find that information, how would you go about that?
I would probably I would go to Google Maps,
Okay.
Google cheese, and then look up Cheesecake Factory to find their phone number.
Okay.
And then I would probably call them via said phone number and then ask them.
Fantastic. Great. And if you wanted to find out what the cheapest place on University Avenue was for food, how would you go about that?
For that, I would also probably use the same app, Google Maps app, because it
Okay.
has prices in it. Or if I'm on a different day, I might just go to Yelp and also just look up food on University Ave. And it has
Perfect.
the dollar sign, so that's how I do it.
Awesome. So you'd use the dollar sign interface to find that out?
Mm-hmm.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, Trevor. So I wanted to ask you some questions about how you find information. So first off, if I were to ask you how to find out how busy the Cheesecake Factory is right now, how would you go about doing that?
I think I'd just go to the Cheesecake Factory, see how busy it is, because I know if it's too busy, I can just go to some other restaurant nearby.
Great. And if you wanted to find out what the cheapest or most expensive restaurant on University Avenue is, how would you go about that?
I know Yelp has price range indicators for restaurants, so I'd probably use that.
Great. Well, thank you so much. All right. Hey, Connor. I just wanted to ask you some questions about how you find out information. So the first question is, if I asked you to find out how busy the Cheesecake Factory is right now, how would you go about that?
I honestly have no idea how I would get that information unless I knew someone was there.
So if someone was there, how would you go about finding out that
I would
information?
probably text them.
Great. Awesome. And then if you wanted to find out where the cheapest or most expensive place on University Avenue is, how would you go about that?
I would probably look on Yelp and look at the little dollar signs. I don't know how accurate those really are because I've gone to places where there's $1 sign and $2 signs and they're kind of the same. So
Okay.
I kind of take the extremes and guess.
Great. All right. Thank you so much, Connor. All right, Robbie, I just wanted to ask you some questions about how you figure out information. So the first question is going to be, if you wanted to find out how busy the Cheesecake Factory is right now, how would you go about that?
I think I'd probably I'd probably search Urban Spoon and see if, I think it has a tables available right now feature, and I'd see if, I know the Cheesecake Factory might not do that, but that would be the first thing I'd check. And then I'm not really sure what I'd do after that.
Awesome. And then if you wanted to find where the most expensive and least expensive places are on University Avenue, how would you go about that?
As a general ballpark thing, I'd probably also go to Urban Spoon because they have their dollar sign indicators, like 1, 2, 3, or 4, for just loose price range, and I'd probably use that. That'd be the first place I'd go, is like a loose, or you could go on like Yelp or something, just search, just straight up Google search like restaurants on University Avenue, and
Great.
then yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Robbie. So we're going to ask you some questions about how you find information about certain things. So the first question is going to be, if you needed to find out how busy the Cheesecake Factory is right now, how would you go about that?
I would get in my car and drive to the Cheesecake Factory and see how busy it is right now.
Great, that's perfect. And then the second question is, if you needed to find out where the most expensive and least expensive places on University Avenue are, how would you go about that?
Probably look on Yelp.
And how would you do that on Yelp?
I would. They have like the little price thing, so
Mhm.
I'd probably search like restaurants on University and then like sort it by like most to least expensive or least to most expensive.
Perfect. Great. Thank you so much.
Anytime.